hoarders like to hold on to everything. So I always joke about that. If you go into someone's house and they have a lot of stuff, this might be a good one for them too, because they don't ever really want to let anything go. This is also one that works on liver issues as well. So as we said before, anger and depression stem from the liver. So these people are usually dealing with something that has caused them to be who they are, and which is why it's not allowing them to grow and blossom. Next on my list, open heart. Open heart, I think, gets kind of pushed on the side and it's not as important to people. But I think this is probably one of the most important flower remedies we have, because this helps to open people up. So if you've ever noticed the people that kind of sit like this and scrunch forward, they're always trying to protect themselves. And so we want to open them back up so they'll actually take risks again, because a lot of times people who need open heart have a difficulty taking a risk. They're really passive. They can be insecure. They can be very untrusting of you, and they don't have a lot of faith in others. So I like using this for any woman who's had an issue with men in her life. When we're growing up, if we are lacking a father figure, or if we ever were raped as a child or even as an adult, if we have issues with men in our life now from, an abusive relationship, this product will help you to get past that so you can actually have a good, healthy relationship again. And that's so important, because we hold on to things that have happened to us from childhood. And this is very important to let go, because it's going to end up turning into other health issues as we get older. For men, this helps them reach their softer side. For women, it also helps with some hormonal balances. This has evening primrose in it, so I think that would be very important if you're someone who is going through the change. And it really is a great one for just any of those painful memories from childhood. I love that product. So one of my kids' favorites is Be Courageous. So when my daughter was younger, she was afraid of roller coasters. And if you guys know me, we love to go to Cedar Point, and that's in Sandusky, Ohio, which is near us. And we love roller coasters, we love rides. And for our daughter to not want that was almost devastating to us, because she was always scared and anxious. And so in children, anxiety usually stems as a stomach issue. So I always want to point that out to people, that anxiety in children is not the same as anxiety in adults. So when children have anxiety, they can be really indecisive, but so can adults. But you're going to look at the stomach. But Be Courageous is going to be for people who even have commitment issues. They can't make a decision. They're really tired. They're afraid of things. This works really well for people who have slow metabolism. Sometimes people are also afraid to lose weight. So, it's like, what will people think of me if I lost weight? Or they're afraid they're going to fail. So this one helps them with that too. So Be Courageous really brings back someone's self-confidence. Be Responsible is great for people who are stuck in a vicious cycle. Be Responsible is exactly what it says. Helps you to be responsible for yourself. So in a vicious cycle, self-sabotaging issues, addictions to drug, foods, or alcohol, people just kind of can have a wrestling evil or darkness, and they just need to put their life in a positive direction. They can sometimes lie, even lying to themselves, and sometimes they're in denial and making excuses for everything. So those are the top 6 blended Bach flowers that we really love to look at. And then the top guy is something called Distress Remedy. And Distress Remedy is great for 911 situations, or if you don't know what to give someone. So if you're looking at issues that they've had and you go, oh my gosh, I could use all of these, Distress Remedy is a great place to start and see where we can get them to end up. After a few months of that, we can switch them to another Bach Flower Remedy. Distress Remedy is also great, something I keep in my car. You never know what's going to happen if someone was in an accident or we were out and somebody got hurt. This helps to calm the body so it doesn't go into shock. Now, all of these Bach Flower Remedies, they like to be taken on their own. So when you're using them, you really want them to be under the tongue or in water and 15 to 20 minutes away from food or other drinks. They do want to be by themselves. If you put them under your tongue, you want them to sit there for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then you can swallow. Now I can do drops, I can do a half of a dropper full. Kind of depends on how big of an issue we're dealing with and how much you want to do. The bigger the issue, the more we may need. Now remember, Bach flowers do not work right away. So when you're using a Bach flower, you want to realize that it's going to take a few weeks to even a few months to get to where you want to be with this product. So you have to be determined to get there, and you have to stick with it so you can get to that point. One last tip on Bach Flower Remedies. I love using these products with animals. I think they work awesome. If you have an animal who has separation anxiety, if they're just anxious in general, if they like to bark all the time, if they're mean and vicious, these are things you can work with them. Just add a little bit of it to their water every day, and eventually it's going to really make a difference in them. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you learned something awesome, and we will be back here next week. Hope you all have a great day. Remember to click that little bell so you can follow us and you can be alerted every time we put up a new video. Have a great day.